Who doesn't love movies? If you don't love movies like we love movies, you're wrong. The sports ball people have their fantasy leagues, but what about us film nerds? The Fantasy Movie League was born! Each week, we choose 8 movies for our personal cineplexes, complete in leagues for the highest grossing box office total. Of course, each cineplex has to build their lineup on budget, with each movie costing a certain amount. Well, let the FML chatter begin!
So last week of the season, season finale.
Yeah, I guess for summer season. We'll go with that.
Yeah,
season finale for the summer season.
And of our regular show.
Oh, yes. We missed last week due to unforeseen. Well, it was foreseen, but,
First week of school, I needed to focus. And
yeah, we're definitely not doing a show next week.
Well, you're still doing. Are you done with all your overtime stuff?
Yeah, that's over with. Last week was just playing catch up on like honeydew things and all those nice sort of adulting tasks.
Yes, I understand. Yes.
Other than that, next week I am off the radar.
Oh, vacation?
I will be out of state, not out of country. Just out of state.
Are you visiting your new
yes,
nephew or
my niece? Yes, my niece Abigail.
Oh,
Uncle
Alex.
Yes, Uncle Alex. So it's in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, which isn't Pennsylvania Amish Dutch country, but
it's close though. There's trains there.
And to say it's like somewhere like Gainesville isn't accurate either, because at least Gainesville has a major representative university in the world, in UF. Harrisburg is just kind of there.
I've been there. I went there.
You know what's fun to do there?
Ride a train.
No, pack up and leave.
Oh, that. Okay. It's beautiful there. There's beautiful countryside areas. Okay.
Well, you're close enough to Hershey where you can go to Hershey Park. I mean, that's one little benefit, I guess.
Hershey Park during school field trips was awesome, except after a while, the smell of the chocolate was too
Oh my
sweet.
gosh.
You're like, oh, get me out of here.
5 pounds just inhaling it. It was
just breathing. It's just too sweet. You're like, oh, too much. Mm-hmm. Well, it's not as sweet as the box office has been.
No.
This was the lowest weekend in the summer.
I feel like we keep saying that the last 3 or 4 weeks. It's been the lowest it's ever been. It's the lowest it's ever been.
Well, that's because there's a precipitous drop-off in the end
quality
these last couple weeks.
Well, would you say it's a drop-off in quality or a drop-off in desirability to go to the movies?
Probably a little of both, but less the quality.
Yeah.
Because I've heard only good things about Hitman's Bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, that did $21 million, I think, if I remember correctly.
That is correct, good sir. $21.3 million in weekend box office gross.
All right, Professor Farnsworth. Good news, everyone.
Good news, everyone. The Fantasy Movie League is back.
Bad news. It's the last season.
Bad news.
No, it's not the last season.
Oh, last episode.
Yeah, last episode.
Last week in the season.
For the summer season. And we will.
I haven't done my Farnsworth in a long time. That was poorly
No,
executed.
your
But you,
Farnsworth
sir,
is
were
just
excellent.
Fine. No, my Farnsworth's not that good, but that's very kind of you, Philip. I really appreciate that.
What would you say? You're more Fry or more Bender? Or you're more
I will
Zoidberg.
be the amazing Captain Kirk Standen.
Kirk Standen, yeah.
Hello, ladies.
Yeah, I have a friend
Leela.
who can. We have a friend. We know him as Panic. Everyone else knows him in the world as Phil. He does a very, very good Zoidberg impression. Dr. John Zoidberg, the Decapodian.
Wait, Zoidberg's name is John?
Yeah, Dr. John A. Zoidberg. Yes, that's officially his
I
name.
did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We've learned something new today.
Yes. Thank you, teacher.
Yes. But yes,
Professor.
John Zoidberg. I guess you could call me that.
Yes, right. I have many degrees, and I am fantastic scientist, and this is why I run an intergalactic shipping enterprise.
You have 6 degrees in Kevin Bacon, right?
Probably some are overcooked.
All right. You notice, audience, I'm so sorry. We're not talking about movies because there's really nothing to talk about.
Because last week we didn't give you an episode. The week before, we were just kind of like, I guess it's a 1.5er. And now this
Yeah,
week
but-
we're just kind of here so we don't get fined.
Well, we're here to commemorate the end of this experiment of ours of tracking the summer season of Fantasy Movie League and talking about it. It's been a lot of fun. I've had fun.
Yes, it's been
And
a.
you've suffered through it. You've suffered through it with me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I guess. And
We don't have to
we've
whisper
had,
this time. That's good.
Yeah, the time it's made the summer fly by, which is nice.
Not nice.
Well, no, not for all of us. No, certainly. This is week 13 of the summer season. Each season is broken up into 4 of these 13-week seasons because guess what? There are 52 weeks in the year, and 13 times 4 is... Yes, that's correct. Yeah, 52. That's right, 52.
You know, that's one thing I've noticed in this whole experiment of FML chatter.
Yeah.
Is you do this interesting thing where you say something and then have a conversation with no one. Yeah, yes, you're correct. I love it.
Yeah, I'm
You don't
waiting
even
for
need
the audience.
me. You don't even need
I'm
me
like
at all.
waiting for the audience to chime in the background, but it's falling on like deaf ears. So hopefully,
Well, what you need is a time machine microphone so you can speak to the future. And they need a time machine microphone so they can speak to you. In any case, shall we talk a little bit about the choices for this final weekend?
Yeah, there are some new movies coming out, but I don't know if they're worth the time and effort. As we mentioned last weekend, Hitman's Bodyguard came out swinging $21.38 million thanks to hot body Ryan Reynolds and loudmouthed Samuel L. Jackson leading the way as the well, you can't say they're protagonists or antagonists, but they're there.
Well, a protagonist is the main perspective that you follow throughout the story, not necessarily good or bad.
Oh, okay, then they're protagonists. But it wasn't an antagonizing performance. Rotten Tomatoes has it currently as a 40% from the critics' reviews, which is somewhat surprising.
Yeah, that's 2 very charismatic actors on screen. Must have been a screenplay.
See, I told you I figured the critics would have liked Logan Lucky a little bit more, but the star power and the name notoriety that is Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson and Salma Hayek clearly won out over logic and critical ratings. Other than that, Logan Lucky, which is the other debut movie, only comes in at number 3 behind Annabelle Creation, which in its second week did $15.6 million, dropping over 50%. Logan Lucky only coming out on 3,000 theaters, $7.6 million in weekend gross. I found that to be wildly disappointing because it cost me yet another week and another victory.
It's been rough.
It has been terrible sledding for me. Like I said, I've lost my mojo.
Help,
Oh no!
help, Vanessa! I've lost my mojo.
It's one Hitman, 3 Logans, 4 Glass Castles, and it was just there was rocks pelted against my Glass Castle. To be fair, though, there were only 16 perfect Cineplexes in the game last week.
Wow.
3 Hitmans,
That tells you something.
4 emojis, and a despicable 3. only one Despicable
Man,
Me.
still picking Despicable 3.
It's not available
I feel
this
like
week.
that movie-
It's not available this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
What I
gone.
love is we have one more weekend to not be at the bottom. Both of us.
Yeah.
We took the week off, and where'd we end up? At the very bottom of
Yeah.
our. But congratulations to Ray.
Yes.
Star Tours.
Congratulations,
Flight
Star
1401.
Tours Flight 1401. Ray took his second win of the year for him, which is very cool. His previous win came all the way back in week number 7, which was his second week. Or, no, I think it was his third week playing. Yeah, it was his third week playing in week 6. Or week 7, excuse me. Where he
Now,
successfully put up $83 million, beating the show hosts who did not have a creative mind between the two of them in picking the same movies.
no.
But that's okay. We look at the current week 13 standings. Everyone has won at least 1 week. D Money has even won a week. So kudos.
Yeah, go Danny. That was last week. Very proud, very proud. And she's like, oh, I just pressed buttons and it happened. And,
Yep,
And there,
yep.
there you go.
Yeah, that's what they say in the casinos too. And I pulled up a massive goose egg, 54 million. Spock 64, D Money 66. Jennifer, my wife, gone to the movies, 67 million. And as we mentioned, Star Tours with a successful trip back to Alderaan. Wait, no, that was rude. Alderaan doesn't exist.
Yeah, that would be an unfortunate destination.
Yeah, 69.2. I ended up on Alderaan.
You're all the wrong, man. You're all the wrong. Oh gosh, that was even bad on my.
So
I'm sorry.
no, you're good. I would have expected.
Now-
I wouldn't have expected any less.
Jennifer and I are locked in this epic battle. This
For
struggle
second
for
place.
Second place. We're always every other week. It's back and forth, and I find that exciting.
If I don't play this week, I was gonna say if I don't play this week and somehow someone pulls off $100 million,
It's not happening.
someone has a chance to win. So I think I'm safe. I don't know.
You're safe. You're safe. It's second place. That's the heated contention there.
To be fair, I've done the numbers. Someone has to do $81 million better than me this week for me to lose. At least $81 million.
yeah, that's not happening. So you're good.
Probably.
You're
Unless something very strange happens with the 3 movies that are coming out. 4 technically. 4 movies coming out this week.
yes.
That's the thing I would keep in mind and be weary of.
So can we talk about those movies because we reviewed, but let's look at the
Yes.
upcoming releases.
Correct. I will say there's one that isn't on this list that has been kind of expanding slowly and gaining traction. And we didn't talk about it last week because we didn't really have a full understanding. But that's been the movie Wind River, which came in at number 10 at the box office. It added 649 theaters to 694 total, but it still made 2.9 million. And this is one of those movies that is just getting all of the critical and award garnering type press that you would kind of hear from one of these dark horse pictures like a Wind River, starring Jeremy Renner.
Oh yes.
Yes,
Poor
Hawkeye,
Jeremy
that guy.
Renner. Yeah.
An FBI agent teams up with a veteran game tracker to investigate a murder that occurred on a Native American reservation.
That sounds pretty average, but cool.
Taylor Sheridan, whose previous work includes Sicario, Hell or High Water, and was also a writer on Sons of Anarchy.
Cool.
So he's been getting around. He's been doing goodly.
I like Jeremy Renner. His star just won't take off. Like he was supposed to be the next Jason Bourne star in that franchise. Even in the Avengers, his character's kind of just there. He had a
Hawkeye
good role.
character, right.
Yeah. He had a good role in Avengers: Age of Ultron.
And he's been in the last few Mission Impossibles too, alongside Thomas Cruise. So that's been nice.
I loved him in American Hustle. That's my
That was a
favorite
good
role
one.
he's been in.
I people kind of learned to hate him in Arrival by the end of it, but that wasn't his problem.
Yeah, that's controversial. That's a great movie, though, and he does a good job. He's very charismatic.
Indeed. It's kind of unfair to do a trivia question around Jeremy Renner. Maybe we'll have a better trivia question come up later. It's possible. It's possible.
Well, should we answer last week's?
Or 2 weeks ago's? I don't even remember what it
2
was.
weeks. Oh, yeah, I don't either.
Because no one answered it again.
Well, well, we will have to have actually one more episode of this to recap this last week.
Oh.
So maybe we will have a short one, and we'll answer 2 trivia questions. We'll go back and listen to last week's.
Oh man, we have to listen to that show. Oh my god.
Well, I'll check out the end. I do turn these on in the background sometimes when I'm like walking the dog or like washing dishes, and I don't have a current podcast. I'll just like, all right, let's hear his foolishness. Fair
enough. So here are the movies according to BoxOfficeMojo.com and Rotten Tomatoes. Movies with scores so far. We'll start with that. Leap, children's movie Leap, being released by Weinstein Company and Co., a PG-rated film. It's being released into, ready for this? 2,000 theaters. That's it. 2,000 theaters for the Leap film.
Now, I saw the trailer. It looks sweet, but it's not Disney or Pixar.
Nope.
It's not DreamWorks.
Nope.
And it has a 50% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, so I don't think this is a good pick to
nope.
root your list in.
Available for the low price of only $68 a screen. Yeah. Kind of even at $2,000 at $68 a screen. I mean, I feel like the kids movie wave came and went with Nut Job. That movie, by the way, and it's it's its second week in the theaters, dropping 39% to $5 million weekend gross. Gross. Again, this is the card I play. Why did we need a Nut Job 2 when we really didn't need a Nut Job 1?
It's interesting. This place in August. Maybe not this week.
It's like a Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, August still used to, like Guardians. The original Guardians came out in August. So August used to still be a viable month of summer movies. But then you've seen summer blockbusters creep into May, then April, then even March. And so summer season is shifting.
Yeah, I mean.
And we haven't adapted.
If we look at it, so far the highest grossing movie in the month has been Annabelle 2. But you look historically at the last 4 summers in terms of the total gross of the top movie. Going back to We Are the Millers, which had a total gross of $841.5 million, and its individual gross within that was about $150 million, which is kind of different. Other than that, Guardians of the Galaxy, like you mentioned, in 2014, $333 million in its time in the month of August. Straight Outta Compton helped 2015 get to $547 million, and Suicide Squad grossed $325 million and did $828 for the month of August, as all the movies in total. Now, so far through what has it been? 3 weeks of August officially, because this will be the 4th and final week because the following week will officially be September 1. So, mathematically, this will be the final week in August. There have only been 41 movies. There has only been that few movies in the 40s in terms of releases in a month since 2011 when Rise of the Planet of the Apes came out. And the only other time there's been only 41 movies in a month. You have to go all the way back to 2002 and Signs, the M. Night Shyamalan movie, to $228 million. So this goes back to about a dozen years ago when there haven't been a ton of movies that are coming out in the month of August. And this is literally one of the worst Augusts on record for the movies. And I can't sit here and blame the solar eclipse because the solar eclipse was on a Monday. But it's just a lackluster August this year, and I think it's the first time it's happened in a very long time where it's not going to get over $300 million, or really over $400 million, which it's been a really long time. And even if you adjust numbers to inflation, it's been a very long streak where the cinema has done well in the month of August. This is just not one of them.
Well, I think it's going to the fact that people save their money for the movies, for those essential films you got to see in the big screen. A lot of these films coming out, like All the Saints, that is 100% a red box film or a Netflix
It probably
film, you know.
is. There may be sizable pushes in certain parts of the country where the religious masses will come out for this Christian film. They have been known to just rent out entire screens and multiple showings during the day to allow their congregations to watch movies like that. I just don't think it has the buzz of The Passion of the Christ or other top Christian movies in the past where they've gotten pub on it. I just haven't heard about it in my church.
I haven't heard any. Yeah, I just looked up the summary, and it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The take they're taking, because they're taking an immigration refugee political position in this film, so that maybe that's how they're trying to get their voice out there. It's about a guy, he's trying to start a church with Southeast Asian refugees. And so there's that. But, aside from that, there's not like big names in this that are hot anymore. And I do have to say, sir, you did a remarkable recap of the power of August, or the lack of power of August, in the past couple of years. So good job. Well done, sir.
No, it's just one of those things. I kind of look at it and it's just like wholly underwhelming numbers, Batman. It's just bad. It's just a flat out bad month. I mean, going back, ding, there's like a little bell in my head that's going off. Dating back, the last time the cinema did under $400 million in overall gross for a month of August, you have to go back to 1998. August of 1998, $346.1 million. Only 23 movies came out that year, in that month of that year, excuse me. And the top movie at the time was Blade.
Oh, wow.
The Wesley Snipes vampire hunter flick, Blade.
And I still need to see that movie.
Nah, you're good.
Kevin Feige has discussed bringing him back to the Marvel universe.
Really? Oh, man.
That was the first major Marvel film, Marvel-based property that was successful.
Gosh. Holy mackerel!
It may not be the actor, but
Wesley
the
Snipes,
character.
right? Yeah. I'm sure you can bring the character back. I don't know if Wesley Snipes would want to do that again, but I'm sure he's been on record saying he's interested.
No, he would love to be back, and after all of his bankruptcy and all that stuff, he needs the money.
So Annabelle 2 needs to make at least $4.3 million to not be the worst August grossing film since 1998. It's been only 19 years since history is probably doomed to repeat itself. I mean, Annabelle 2 last week, it only did a measly
15.6 million.
So if it's on this same like 55% plus drop off, or does it get back into the 30s column, you could see it go down into the 9s, or possibly as graciously as 11, depending on
in reality, this film is a huge success. It cost $15 million to make. It has 64 already. So it is. These people are jumping up and down, throwing confetti.
Yes, the power of the Conjuring cinematic universe.
Ooh.
Yes, I know. Oogie boogie boogie. Dunkirk fell 2 spots, by the way, to number 4, 6.6 mil. Emoji Movie stayed exactly where it was, $6 million. So did Spider-Man. Girls Trip dropped 3 spots to 8. Dark Tower dropped 5 spots. That's a long fall from the top of the tower.
I don't think it's making its $60 million budget.
Yeah, I don't expect
Which
that.
seems to be a small budget for a film that's trying to start an entire franchise
Oh, I
on
know.
these Stephen King novels.
I mean, you look at it. Sony in the last month and a half has released Emoji Movie, Spider-Man, and The Dark Tower. Maybe there just wasn't enough in the financing to go around to make all three relative big money movies. Not to
Well,
mention,
I
Rough
think
Night
they
has also
didn't-
been in theaters for the last 10 weeks, and that's a Sony movie too.
I think in the Marvel Sony deal, Marvel had to. The cost was from Marvel, and Sony just gets to claim the credit and a
I
lot of
see.
the profit. I think that's part of the deal.
That's
That's how
probably
Marvel
it.
got to be able to use Spidey.
Distribution studio would be Sony in
Mhm.
that case, correct.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, we're kind of looking at what's going to be available this week that is new. Two more movies we have yet to mention as of yet. You mentioned All Saints. That's about as much as we would want you to know about it. Leap is another one, and then Birth of the Dragon.
Roar.
Yes, Roar. Not about Game of Thrones, unfortunately. It is about a young.
It's like a Bruce Lee
Yes.
biopic.
Yeah, biopic, yes. Young Bruce Lee trying to make a name for himself, working as a martial arts instructor in 1960s San Francisco. I think I said that right. San Francisco, right?
Biopic.
Right.
You know, actually, I was talking with another teacher, and she said biopic too, and I was like, "Oh man, it continues."
Yeah, Grammarly will
continues.
tell you it's biopic. He's a
So
quadruple
yeah,
biopic
this
surgery.
This movie looks eh.
And it's only coming out on what? Like not even 1,500 theaters, or there's not going to be a lot of action. I will never, if it's less than 2,000 screens, tell you to pay for a movie costing $100 a screen. Leap is coming out on more screens and costs less, so there's value to be had there in playing Leap if you feel that kids' movies will have one last hurrah before Labor Day weekend. So
Yeah.
that's really the ones that are being added into Fantasy Movie League that are worthy of mention. Kidnap is still there. Baby Driver somehow, some way is still there, despite the fact Baby Driver last week only making $856,000. That is a sucker play. Kidnap did 2.9, so that is why it's coming in and towards the very end of things. Wind River still not able to be selected in Fantasy Movie League, despite making $2.9 million. So everything we've talked about with Jeremy Renner and Wind River, it's nice to talk about, but you can't play it. Sorry, everyone. Really, what do we do with what is available? From still now, Spider-Man's still available, Girls Trip still available, Dark Tower, Emoji, Nut Job,
Is that the French version?
Emoji,
Emoji.
the Emoji movie.
Well, I think we ignore a lot of these premiere films.
Right. I'm gonna probably do at least 3 Hitmans.
Me too.
I am.
Annabelle in there too.
Oh.
I'm doing at least one Annabelle. I think I'm giving one more week of Dunkirk. A Nut Job. And then 2 Girl Trips.
I
that's
don't
how my math
know.
works out. Something like that.
I don't know.
I really don't want to put Nut Job in, but I've tried many different possibilities, and I definitely want to have a bunch of Bodyguard and Annabelle.
Yeah.
They're the top 2. Logan Lucky
Right.
was a
And
huge
I don't think they're
disappointment.
going to get dethroned. I just don't think the Annabelle drop is a good sign for the movie.
But what's going to make more than Annabelle? None of these new movies.
I think Logan Lucky could have a resurgence in its second week, just
I
because
hope
everyone
so. I
went to
hope
go
so.
see Hitman's Bodyguard first time round. That's what I'm gonna I'm gonna gamble on it. And I'm
Okay,
gonna
that's fair
pick it
enough.
for
Okay.
6 or 5 of my 8 screens.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm just gonna load up on that since it's giving me the value to do so.
What's weird this week? There's no movie below $30.
I know.
Our low end is not as low as usual.
Right. It's not fun when that happens. Strategies by the game makers. What do we know? Man, look at the time. We've been here 30 minutes and stretched out a crap weekend into this much time of movie discussion. Isn't that wonderful?
Well, we could just go back to talking about Futurama.
Oh, I like this idea of yours. I think we should go ahead and just talk about, how Philip Fry will never, ever amount to anything of note.
No, that would be rude.
The best voice that I wish I could do an impression of is Bender. I mean, how fun. Bender or Rick from Rick and Morty.
Oh, man. Rick
always
is
drunk. Always slurring. Have you seen it yet?
I've watched. See, here's the thing. Somehow, some way, I feel like I caught part of an episode where he turned himself into a pickle.
Oh, that was brilliant.
And then he unfortunately rolled off the table into the middle of the sun, and he got eaten by a cat. The cat spit him out, and he got rolled out into the sun. He's like, "This is how brilliance dies." I'm like, "What? How?"
Exactly. You gotta watch the whole series to get what's going on there.
I know. I need to. There's a lot of things missing, but we haven't talked about another one of these movies that unfortunately we cannot select, but I feel like needs to be discussed in the widening of the release of the A24 distribution film known as Good Time, starring Jennifer Jason Leigh and Robert Pattinson. Getting back to not zombies, getting back to vampires, yes. Good Time, after a botched bank robbery, lands his younger brother in prison. A man embarks on a twisted odyssey through the city's underworld in an increasingly desperate and dangerous attempt to get his brother out of jail. Whoa. Nominated for the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. Cannes Film Festival. Cannes. Not Cannes. Cannes. Also got nominated for Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Director. So they liked it in South of France for sure. So it's just.
Did they like Valerian? I know that's gone international by now. Let's see. I haven't looked. A little more than us. They got 93 million so far.
Ooh, good for them.
So 70% of its income comes from the foreign market. And
that doesn't surprise me, though. We kind of anticipated that.
But it still has not made up its budget of $177 million. It's currently at 132 million.
Oh, well. So, yeah.
Boo-hoo for that.
We really don't have anything to kind of tell you should or should not do in your shinnyplexes. But Elizabeth Olsen technically has 2 movies out right now. She appears alongside Jeremy Renner as the FBI agent in Wind River, and she appears alongside the sitcom starlet Aubrey Plaza in the indie flick Ingrid Goes West. It's so far in only 26 theaters. Been out for 10 days now. It appeared at Sundance a little while back, and now it's getting a wider release. Hopefully more than the 26 theaters it's in currently. With the 26 theaters it was appearing in, it did make $267,000. So we we root for the movies we want to see succeed. So that there's our cheerleading effort for the day. What else is new with you, amigo?
Oh, students, teachers, back at work, getting the students acclimated to the craziness that is Mr. Chaplin.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, baby just turned 8 months today.
Yay!
Yay.
Kept your child alive for 8 months. It's
an accomplishment.
I was gonna say, did that unlock an achievement?
Unlocked.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Good.
Yes, the achievement was less sleep because we've had to take her off her heartburn medicine for a doctor appointment, and therefore she wakes up every night.
Well.
So that's been fun.
Yes, it sounds like
Other
a blast.
Than that,
it sounds like a blast.
We love her. You love her. So I just got lazy and just brought her into bed with us. Broke our rules. She just slept with us for a little bit last night.
Ruh-roh. Nothing of note for new movies during Labor Day weekend. The only wide release that we see currently is Tulip Fever, which we might briefly discuss. It is a bit of an all-star cast. Alicia Vikander is the starring actress on that
okay,
one.
she's good. From Ex Machina.
Yes. And the man
And
from
something
Uncle
else.
and Jason Bourne and the Danish Girl.
There you go. Okay.
Just a few. And The Light Between Oceans, which really apparently was...
Yes, that's the latest
Yeah,
one.
there you go.
Before this movie.
With her now, I think she was dating Michael Fassbender because of that, and that's a power couple, if you ask me.
Probably. Yes.
I date Michael Fassbender.
Football season coming back. We should turn this into the SEC chatter.
Oh my heavens!
Oh wait, you're not an SEC fan. Okay, sorry.
Well, it's not that I'm not an SEC fan. I just don't.
Go
I don't
UNLV.
know. It would be just strange to talk about it. So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do we have weekly recommends to give us something to speak about? What have you been watching the last 2 weeks?
Weekly
What's entertaining you?
recommends.
What have you been watching, listening to, reading?
Right. This weekend is wildly busy for me, actually. Our friend Sparty, Matt, is having
Okay.
we're having our fantasy football draft this weekend. It
Sweet.
is also an Orlando City soccer weekend. And on top of that, there's
Mhm.
also some kind of boxing fight taking place in Las Vegas between a man who simply wants to be known as Money and an Irishman named McGregor.
Perfect.
That's all you need to know about that, we swear.
So that's what you will be watching, right?
That's on the to-do list.
But what did you finish OJ yet?
We finished OJ. Fun fact, the glove did not fit, so he was acquitted. I know. Shocking turn of events in that one. No, but for the longest time, and I was given a bit of grief for this, my wife shared my profile with me because she just kind of went under my name and just watched whatever she wanted. But then my sister had inquired as to whether or not she could get a profile on my log, and I said, sure, I will be the nice brother and let everyone start using my Netflix now. And you could do up to 5 different profiles on your Netflix account. Don't know if you knew that, but there you go.
Yeah,
We've all learned something today if you haven't. I've created one for Jennifer, one for my mother, one for my sister and brother-in-law, and one for my father, giving me the 5 maximum that I could do. And when Jennifer found out she got her own and she couldn't keep using mine, she's like, "Why are we separating?" I'm like, "Wait, no, see, here's the thing. You watch your shows on my Netflix, and it gives me all these horrible recommendations that I don't want to watch. Like,
You watch this. Here's a new list because based on your watching of Shameless.
yeah,
Right.
it's just I don't hate Shameless. I'm not saying I'm not its number one fan, but it's not the first thing I'm going to gravitate to on my list.
Sure.
Which I feel is a never-ending list, unfortunately. Kind of like the never-ending story.
It is the infinite list.
So right now on my list, the next thing I feel like I'm going to watch, and I'm going to make a concerted effort to do so, and just kind of go through as much of it as I can in terms of the series, is a rewatching of The Office.
Oh, that's a good choice.
I know, and I feel like I watch it, and there are just times that I just have to pause it because it's just I'm doubled over. But outside of The Office, if I can't get into that and dive headfirst into that, it will probably be The Defenders.
That's good. That's what my weekly recommend is. I finished it the opening weekend.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I'm not gonna do The Defenders, I'll probably do Friends from College, which I've been enjoying. Starring Keegan-Michael Key, Colby Smulders, Fred Savage. Yeah, it's delightful.
Nice.
It's really nice. Billy Eichner is also a part of it. It's a fun movie, TV show. Netflix original. It's only in 1 season so far. I think it's like a 8-episode arc that they've done so far, and I'm through episode 4, so I think I might binge that coming up in a matter of days. Also on my list includes the full series of Iron Fist and, oh, good heavens, why can't I remember their names now?
Luke Cage,
Luke
Jessica
Cage,
Jones,
Jessica Jones, yes, all of them are there.
Daredevil.
Well, I still can't wrap myself around Daredevil. Don't know why.
Really? That is the best one out of all.
Ah, I know, but I have to like,
Iron Fist is trash. Don't even bother.
man.
Honestly.
And
I could not get past the first episode, and everyone that's watched the whole thing says you don't need to watch this. Now, he's a great character. He's pretty good in Defenders. But he's supposed to be a kung fu master. And in that series, the guy can barely fight. It was really poor. So he trained a lot more for Defenders, and it was a lot more convincing. The acting and writing was better. So that's my weekly recommend, The Defenders. It was pretty good. I'd give it like a C+, a B-.
So kind of going back to the whole mindset of why I had to separate what I was watching from the rest of my profiles. It turned into getting recommends for shows like Pretty Little Liars, the documentary of What the Health, Parenthood, Atypical, Jane the Virgin. That was in like on my now things to recommend to me. I'm like, no.
Okay, so being honest,
stop.
PLL is pretty decent show for the first 5
I'm not
seasons.
listening. I'm tuned you out now. I can't believe you said such. This is blasphemous. How dare you?
When my wife has the TV on, I just have to watch. So I've seen a lot of The Secret Life of the American Teenager. Crap. Make It or Break It. All right. But PLL, good mystery. A lot of bad A moments in it. But then, like, the mystery is never solved, and then it's stupid because you can't, like, play along with the mystery because they keep changing the goal line. So you get out of that show. But PLL 5 seasons, all right, it's pretty decent. It's pretty
Fair enough.
That's my review.
My wife now on her new profile has discovered a show from the CW known as the 100
Always quality.
or the 100.
Oh, I've heard people love that.
She likes it. I watched it. I'm like, and I didn't know it was CW at all when I heard about it. I'm just watching. I'm like, the hell did the Netflix turn into CW? I'm like,
It's
what
all
is this
teen angst and
crap?
stuff, right?
It's like, no, Bellamy, don't.
It's like freeform Shadow Hunters. I'm like, what is this?
So
junk?
I've tried to like put more reasonable things like Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt into my rotation.
I couldn't get into that. I couldn't get into it.
It's different. I get it. I understand.
Something that looks good, What Happened to Monday? It just came on Netflix. It's on my list to check out. But it's in a post-apocalyptic world where you can only have one kid in America. And this one family has like 10 daughters that kind of look the same. And so they all have names of different weeks. Maybe there's $7. They all have the name of a different week. So they can go out and live
I see
one day
what
of the
they
week.
did there.
Right, and it's, I don't know, they get discovered. I don't know. It looks interesting premise. I might check it out.
Interesting. What happened to Monday? Well, tell you what, we're recording this on a Wednesday, so we couldn't tell you what happened to your Monday. But hopefully you're going to have a good week at the cinemas just like we are. Going back to the trivia question of the week, we now have
Alex's trivia.
Yeah, Alex's crappy trivia. Just demean myself so horribly with the lack of enthusiasm for the trivia question I have for us this week. I know.
Come on, man. These trivia questions are awesome. Be excited. It doesn't have to be related to any of these trash movies coming out this week.
So,
what's your...
yeah, I was going to say.
Make a trivia question out of something you know from one of your favorite movies or something.
Oh.
I know your brain is full of useless knowledge. Let's get it out there.
I mean, useless knowledge is a bit of an understatement, but I mean,
It's subjective, right?
yeah, it just depends on the time and the place and the,
I mean, this is the guy, I'm looking at my bookshelf that has a book called The First 100 Years of the Federation. a history book about Star Trek history.
Good heavens.
So
No.
So that's my useless
This will
knowledge.
not be related to the movies that are coming out available for us to select because they're not selectable. But we did talk about them. We talked about one of the actresses in them, Elizabeth Olsen.
Aha. Okay.
I'm going to ask you guys and all of you kiddos out there in the world to ignore the fact that Elizabeth Olsen has been in the last 2 Avengers films. Well, Marvel Cinematic Universe films, Captain America Civil War and Avengers Age of Ultron. Prior to her appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, what was the highest grossing film that Elizabeth Olsen appeared in?
Gosh, I couldn't even name any of the films she was in before Avengers.
Yeah, that's pretty much my point. So yeah, that's your trivia question this week. What was the film that Elizabeth Olsen appeared in that has been the highest grossing film outside of her appearances in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Send self-addressed, self-envelope, and leave that postcard under your pillow for us to get your trivia answer submitted through the magic of...
Wait, are we gonna creep into everyone's bedrooms?
Well, wouldn't they like to know? Probably not.
When you hear that bump in the night, it's Alex and I hitting our heads underneath your bed.
It's the Tooth Fairy. Because we punched you in the mouth, kept you knocked out, and you lost a tooth. So we put $1 under your pillow. No.
Wow.
That's
We need money that bad?
No,
Like,
I'm
are we
just-
now living in the red tent?
No, I'm just saying that that's how the Tooth Fairy visited me when I was growing up. I was punched in the face, a tooth came out, and all of a sudden $1 appeared under my pillow. And if I woke up sore, I knew the Tooth Fairy had visited. It was kind of cool.
Alex, there's a helpline you can call for when you realize you were abused when you were a child.
No,
You can get the help you need. Just call 1-800-SHELF-NERD.
1-800 shelters, yes. But no, especially I do want to do one thing before we wrap up this episode, since we are recording on the 23rd of August. This day,
Happy birthday, my brother Tommy. He is now 20.
today.
Today.
Wow, that stole my thunder completely. But yes, that's
I'm
one
sorry.
of 2 shout-outs we're making today now. The other has about a 40-year head start on Dear Tommy, so that's why I feel like this one has a little bit more clout in terms of being honored
Yeah.
more. Not that Tommy's 20th is uneventful and uncircumstantial.
Well, next year is the big year for
Oh,
him. So
right.
who is this? Who is it?
This day, 60 years ago, in Newark, New Jersey, Elizabeth Hensler Arthur gave birth to Donna Margaret Arthur, who later became known as Mom and later became known as Nona. So happy birthday to my mom, who turns the big 6-0 today.
Yay!
60 for my mom. Yeah. You look at a photo of her and you kind of say like, wow, that is a fine wine. That ages quite well. She don't look 60 at all. Literally.
May we all be so lucky.
I'm like, sweetie, I hope these genes get passed down as well to my children, because I don't feel like I look like my ripe old age of 30. And I mean, I've asked people, I'm like, if I didn't tell you I was 30, how old do you think I was? And one smart butt said,
Wait,
30.
what else could they say from that question?
I've gotten 23. I've gotten 26.
Oh, okay.
I've gotten
So you're-
29.
wow.
I'm like, well, I like the persons that answered 23. You get a cookie. But yeah, happy birthday to my mom. 60 years old today, or 60 years young. She's playing golf, probably. It's one of her new favorite pastimes since she's gotten bored in the summertime. She's picked up golf.
Awesome.
She says she's getting better slowly and steadily. I see it. I believe it. It's good stuff. So happy birthday, Mom, doing what she does best and doing what she loves to do on her birthday. So what else can you ask for, you know?
Yeah, and my brother Tommy, he's probably celebrating by watching anime, playing Nintendo games, and recording videos
Yeah.
for YouTube. Check out his channel, Second Look.
I would say that if there was something else I would recommend to dive into, I have discovered a game on the App Store It is called.
Time Waster 2000.
It's similar name. It's 2 games by the same game developer or distributor. They're called Ketchup. So like you would spell the word ketchup, but app on the end. KETCH app. Ketchup.
Okay.
They have been proprietors and procurers of highly addictive games that I have kind of stumbled one by one into the other as I have downloaded them to my phone. The most recent of those is The Line Zen. Basically, you navigate an object through a very Zen-like atmosphere where if you touch the walls or touch any object in red, your little object explodes and dies.
Not very Zen.
But in a very Zen, calm-like manner, which is kind of enjoyable and good time-wasting and addicting. So that was like the most recent addition from the rabbit hole of those particular games. Others include Writer, Fidget Spinner. Yes, they do a Fidget Spinner app, and I'm not even embarrassed to admit that I've gotten it and I enjoy it. Yep.
Oh, those cropped up in my class today.
Oh, my.
And my rule for fidget spinners is go for it. Use them. I don't care.
If it
Unless
helps,
they're
go for it,
distracting
yeah.
you or someone else. Yeah.
Right.
But the incessant whirly spin sound while I'm trying to talk is a little grating.
I mean, better than the sound of children talking.
Well, they do that too.
Oh, well.
At the same time.
I can't help you with. Yeah, it started with a game called Balls, Ballz, which kind of added elements of the classic Brick Breaker game, but also it's weird. I don't know how else to tell folks how to play it, but my wife got addicted on it to the point where she found a way to hack the game.
Oh, go Jen.
Yeah, she got a high score, which I kind of, again, it's an asterisk high score, kind of like how some people think the baseball home run total is like an asterisk total, that it's not legitimate because of steroids. But she found a way to hack the game and eventually got like a high score somewhere in like the mid thousands. Just kind of ridiculous.
Jennifer is known to hack things so she can cheat and win. We did a race once.
Oh my God! So this isn't like the first time she's done this.
There was a 10K and a 5K going on at the same time, right? And she signed
I
up
was
for the 10K.
in that race.
You were there? Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's
And she
right.
did-
How could I have not realized that?
But you know what?
Okay,
The next year,
yes.
I did it by accident. It's not well marked. Oh, and we plan to do this
Yeah,
race
she did
this
a
year
10K
again.
at a 5K time because she only ran 5K. And then it set her up for like all sorts of unnecessarily high corrals and like run
At
Disney
Disney.
events.
Yeah,
And she's like, I
that
don't
was
know what I'm
perfect.
doing.
So come join us at the pancake race this year. I don't know if you're going to do it in celebration, but I think we are this year.
Ooh, okay. I think there's still time to register. I think there's that one, and then there's another one that I might see if the troops are interested in that we usually run with. It's your sister-in-law and brother-in-law. Well, technically, since she's already your sister-in-law, does that make him your brother-in-law, or just singular brother-in-law?
According to Brian, we are unrelated.
Wow, that's kind of him. Good heavens.
We've had long, lengthy debates about what is our title towards each other.
We're
And he says,
unrelated.
Chris, you are a man that is married to my sister-in-law. That is all you are to me.
That's such love.
That's the Brian.
So much love from that sentence right
Yeah.
there. Man, we are off the
should we
rails.
end on that note?
We are off the rails. Amber's still going to like that we post this, so it's fine.
Yeah, she has to listen 54 minutes to get to this part.
Maybe she will. Love you, Amber.
Maybe our voices will soothe her baby Elise to sleep during the day for a nap.
Oh, I hope so.
Right,
that would be cool.
That's what
that
we
would
can
be
do
fun.
for her.
Oh my gosh. For Chris, I am Alex. Thank you so much for joining us here in this summer season of Fantasy Movie League Chatter. We should hope to see you soon, and Lord knows if we're going to come back with stuff in the next fall season and then award season, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah, let us know by tweeting Shelf Nerds or Alex_Salvo or on the page's Facebook group.
Yes.
Let us know what you want from us.
What do you
don't
want?
want from us? I'm inclined to do a whole episode on our favorite, like, top 3 Futurama episodes. I would love to have to go back. Or The Office. We can talk The Office, too.
What do you want? Sorry, I'm going to stop quoting The Notebook now. And just...
Oh, that's what it is.
It's like that meme of, like, whenever you ask your girl where she wants to eat, what do you want? What do you want? It's not that simple. What do you want? I don't know.
Have you seen the Key and Peele skit on that?
Probably.
Oh, I showed it to you on your wedding day that morning. You probably don't remember because that was a crazy day.
Oh my gosh, it was a blur. For Chris, I'm Alex. We'll see you at the movies.